Damn, we're handsome.
Welcome into a very special post game.
Hi, Sadhna.
Hi, Sadhna.
Hi, Sadhna.
Good to see you.
Say hi to your wife.
Come on, D. You're so rude.
Hey, boo!
Oh, okay, that's a little much. Get this guy's chair up a bit.
Welcome in. Very special Target Score post game live from Winnipeg. The CEBL finals have concluded. The Winnipeg Sea Bears are CEBL champions for the very first time. Beating the Brampton Honey Badgers 98-84. It is finally quiet in this arena. It was an absolute chaotic scene as
Run it back. You know we always do. Once the three of us, you just run it back.
Shout out to my boys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely stellar atmosphere here. What a story about getting Xavier Moon had a phenomenal game. Simon Hildebrandt, I think, is the silver lining there. I mean, MVP runner-up for sure with Xavier Moon winning the finals MVP. And I think more than anything, hitting that final shot. I mean, how poetic is that? The local Winnipeg boy doing it in front of a record crowd. 12,500 fans were here. It's 12.5 million. Oh, Canada was here. No, 12,500. It's a new league record. And yeah, he does it in front of his friends, his family, and what's been a very special week. He's getting married this week as well. Good luck topping this one, Simon. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Two rings.
I mean, well, that's before we get to the feedback here. I mean, you guys come all the way from Brampton this morning through flight delays. Show up here, your first experience.
And I got frisked. I got frisked at the airport.
Wait, let me tell
I got frisked at the airport.
Goes Ramogi Nagudi.
Let me tell you this story, Joe. You talk about
we talked it before the game too, so we're just running it back
now. 2 flight delays. So we get into the airport, it's 4 in the morning. This is Pearson Airport, Terminal 3. No one.
Let's not celebrate the fact that Winnipeg.
No one goes to Terminal. This is more important. No one goes to Terminal 3. It's 4 in the morning. Place is empty. D and I walk in. There's this single security guy, and he pops out and he goes, "Hey, yeah, you guys come over here." He goes to D. He goes, "Bag off. Take your bag off, open your bag, take your laptop out, swab your hands, whatever." He was like in your shorts, basically.
As Joe Razzo would put it.
Yeah, the great Joe Razzo would say, he's in his shorts. He checks everything on D. He's checking everything under the sun. Yeah. And then he goes, "Okay, you're good to go." I take my bag off. I'm ready to go. The guy goes, "No, you're good." Nothing. What did you think that was? Just unfair?
Profiling. I won't finish it, but it was some sort of profiling.
Okay, well, I think that's just security measures.
South
I don't know.
Asian man wants to go to Winnipeg. Why would he possibly want to go to Winnipeg?
But seriously, man, we were so happy. I mean, we kept talking about it when we were watching the game, how happy we are to be here, and again, how hospitable everybody's been since we arrived. We've been here for what, like maybe 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever it's been. Not even 10 hours. But how nice, and the amount of people that come up to us and say, "Man, like we listened to the podcast." Like we probably had 5 or 6 people at the end there after the game, which was so nice. And even before the game, we ate at the place across the street, the market. I don't know.
Shrimp tacos were so good, yo.
Yeah.
12 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh my gosh, we met the owner of Monday's Cafe, which will be out tomorrow, which was nice. But everybody was so welcoming, and again, the hospitality second to none. And I said to Joey, I'm like, man, Joey like even undersold this because that's how amazing this was.
I was worried I oversold it a little bit. I won't lie. Like, you know,
No.
I'm a big hey, X, you want to come on for an interview real quick?
Come on, X. Come on here.
Let's get the CEBL MVP.
There we go.
What a way to open up
We
the
shifted,
podcast.
we
No,
shifted.
he'll take mine. He'll take mine.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead with him.
Want to put him in the
Well,
middle?
no,
Yes. You want to put him in the middle?
No, it's all good.
all right. Well, D's going to be the guy here. Yeah, you move over here. Let's get X in the middle.
All right. Want to? I'll swap. We have
okay.
another headset. We got a 4th headset.
I thought we did.
Bye,
Oh,
Sadhna.
yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah, we
There's
gotta
4th
plug that
headset
puppy
right
in.
here.
We'll set up after.
All right,
Let him
come
have
take a
this one.
seat, X.
What's up, dude?
We're gonna-
Congrats. That was electric.
Have a seat. We'll have you for a few minutes. I know you got some celebrating to do, so appreciate this. Got Xavier Moon on Target Score post game live. Can you hear us okay there, X? Oh, you got too many things on your head.
He's got goggles. He's going skiing. He's going to Aspen after this.
All right. How you feeling, man? This is I don't think this feeling gets old. This is your 3rd one. You're still undefeated in the Target Score era in the playoffs. How does this feel now that you had a few minutes to celebrate with the guys?
Man, this feels crazy. I can't lie. Definitely because I wasn't expecting to ever come back to the league. So to win in front of 12,000 fans in Winnipeg, they never won a championship. I mean, they never won a championship. They never won a playoff game. I think this one is much sweeter than the first 2 I got.
Yeah, well, even the way it happened, right? I mean, we talked about it in the post-game show or in the trophy presentation. You almost didn't play here, right?
Yeah.
There was a moment where you thought you might have spent some time here in the summer without ever getting to play. You get in the nick of time, and then it just seemed like the adversity kept rolling. Like, you had Teddy's 54-point game, great start, and then it kind of feels like things are, losing steam a little bit. Then you lose 3 starters going to the playoffs, and I know you guys saw it. A lot of people counted you out going into the playoffs. So, to take all that into account, I mean, how do you put that into words and just how everybody came together?
I think that just goes to show like the type of team that we put together. Obviously, we knew what everybody could do, and we just needed to give those guys that opportunity, and I feel like we did that. And then just going down the stretch, man, we were playing our best basketball going into that Saskatoon game. We gave ourselves a chance in that Vancouver game. We kept it close, and then tonight, I mean, we really showed what we could do on both sides of the ball, especially in that second half. So, like I've been saying, man, I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the effort that we gave, even when adversity struck. I feel like we stayed together, man, and we ultimately came out with the victory and the goal that we were trying to chase.
I've got to ask you this because you had a game high, 29 points, which, again, I think the best way to describe your performance is sicko mode.
Coming from the white guy.
Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. Okay, just get me off this. Why don't you roll me off the back of the stage? We're watching you go end to end here. You're weaving through guys. You're just like silk. It's perfect. You're going end to end, no problem, and make it look easy. What kind of preparation goes into your game in order to do things like that? Like, I always think about in the moment, it's awesome, but before the game, last night, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind? And arguably, again, the biggest moment of the season, and you find yourself kind of leading from the front again, and as the, I guess, captain of this team in this situation.
For me, obviously being in a situation before, like I know I can't get too high, I can't get too low. Shots will be made, shots will be missed. My preparation is always the same. I've had the same routine for probably the last 6-7 years. Nothing changes for me. And obviously, man, just being able to perform at a high level, knowing that the guys are really going to count on me coming down the stretch. Obviously, I didn't take a lot of shots the first half. I probably had, 6 points. But I knew in that second half, man, it was going to really be my time to really be aggressive, try to put the game on my back, take a lot more shots, be a lot more aggressive. And I feel like I do that pretty well over the last couple of years. That's really become like my go-to, really cranking it up in the second half and really getting going. And obviously I had it going. I made a couple shots, man, and that's all I really needed.
23 points in the second half, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated. You leave the league. The award is named after you. I don't know how quickly you were able to think of your legacy here, but to come back and do this, have you thought about the impact that you've made, not in just the cities that you've been in, but in Canada basketball as a whole? It's weird, right?
I have. It is weird. And even when Mike called me and showed me the trophy, like I was speechless. Because usually things like that don't happen to guys who are still playing. It's usually the guys who have already retired or have passed on or something like that. So to have that honor in itself, I still can't even put that into words anytime that I see the trophy. But having the opportunity to come back to the league where it all started, it kind of propelled me to where I am now in my career. I think that right there speaks more volumes than any other championships and anything like that. And I just wanted to try to show that same love back to the league. And I feel like I did that with winning my 3rd championship. So I'm happy for the opportunity. I'm happy with what the league is doing, what they've done over the last couple of years when I haven't been playing. And then just obviously having the opportunity to come back and do it all over again, man. I wouldn't change a thing.
I said it in the post-game interview, I think it was, but this team didn't exist. You talk about the growth that has happened, not only from a talent perspective, but just the league itself. Take yourself back to those first 2 championships and then fast forward to here, 12,500 people. That's a lot of people. And this is a charged place at the best of times. I've never seen a finals crowd. I have noise canceling ear plugs, like to hear my producer. I had my thing cranked and all I could hear was the crowd going through, especially, and it was all game. It felt like Target scored the entire game. I mean, when you sit here and think of what you were able to accomplish here, but not only coming back, but seeing the growth, I mean, how does that feel when you have that kind of support from a city that, again, didn't have a team last time you played?
It's amazing. And like you said, they've never had a team here. And to have the turnouts that we do, like I said, win, lose, or draw, man, it shows a lot about this city. It shows a lot about how they feel about their sports. And for us, man, they've been behind us the whole year. Even when I first got here last month, like the first couple of games that I came to, I was like, man, the crowd is crazy. And man, it's hard to put it into words, or it's hard to get people to understand that hasn't played in front of a crowd like that before, especially in the CEBL, because you don't see that everywhere that you go. So big shout out to all the Winnipeg fans, man, for the support that they've shown their whole year. This is definitely something that doesn't go unnoticed by our team and by everybody that plays here.
I want to bring up one thing. Going into the target score time, there was a timeout, and Mike Rainbow says, keep the pace up, right? And talking about the importance of the possessions and not celebrating. You got up and said something. What did you say to the team? Because you seemed like you were really dialed in and weren't ready to celebrate just yet.
The last time out we had. I told him that we can't get complacent. Like, obviously, everybody's happy we're making shots, we're doing all that, but the game is not over. Like, we gotta make sure that we're still having fun. We're doing what we're doing, ball moving, defense is moving, and then we got to finish the game. And the same thing I've been telling the last couple playoff games, man. It's been fun. I've had a hell of a time here with these guys. Now let's finish the game.
Teddy Allen, I think for the three of us is the MVP in the league this year.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Unanimous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's meant so much to this franchise. He's made such a connection with the people in the city and the fans in the city and the players that are around him. He's on the minds of all 12,519 people that are in the building today. First, two-parter. Has anybody communicated with him since you guys stepped off the court and celebrated in the locker room? And second part to that, how much of this was a kind of win for Teddy?
Yeah. Somebody, I don't even know who it was. Somebody had him on FaceTime. literally on the sideline, somebody was like, hold on. And it was Teddy on FaceTime. So, yeah, we talked to him on FaceTime. I talked to him on FaceTime after the Saskatoon game, back there in the back. He said some stuff where I'm like, yeah, Teddy's fine, but he's fine. But to get this win for him, to get him a championship, I think that just goes to show like the type of player he is to even put us in the position that we were in before everything happened with him. So I'm happy for him. Don't know what's next for him, but I mean, he'll have jobs everywhere. And he's an amazing player, an amazing person. And I know he's had a lot of stuff said about his name or how he is as a person, but he's an amazing person, man. I'll always have his back.
Speaking of teammates, the hometown product, Simon Hildebrandt came up big. I feel like between the both you, anytime Brampton got any momentum, you guys totally broke everyone's back and were able to sustain, whatever runs you were able to do. But talk about, during the course of the season, he averaged 5 points a game and he stepped up in a huge way in the postseason. Can you speak about him as a player and also as a human being during this postseason run?
Being a hometown kid, man, like I told him, you gotta embrace it. Like, not many guys get to play in their hometown. Not many guys get the opportunity to play for a championship in their hometown. So just embrace every moment. And from the time I was watching Simon, I'm like, man, this is a really good player. Like, he's a really good player. Then I got to know him as a person. I'm like, he's a really good guy. He's about to get married this week, so I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him for that. And now he's able to add a championship ring to his collection. So I know he's gonna have a great year in Germany. He was huge for us in our success. Hell of a player.
I don't think we can't move ahead before asking you about another player that was a big part of this team and getting it started. And his banner hangs up there. It's Chad Posthumus. I know you knew him from your early years in the CEBL, but we're reminded of him every time we walk in here because of the banner, because of the spirit. And he's a massive reason. The culture that you guys had this year, I felt was very reflective of what Chad helped build when he first got here. To do it in his hometown that, again, wasn't here when you would have played with them and against them. But what does it mean to you to win this for a city that was so dear to a guy that was so important to this league? And, his legacy still stands in the league to this day and will for a long time.
That means more than any other championship that I've won, obviously. Because of the impact that he had on the city, because of the impact that he had on so many people in the community, the things that he was doing in the community when Winnipeg first came about, and just the person he was. Like, obviously, everybody knew Chad had that, the big energy, big light. So to do this for not only ourselves, but for him too, I think that'll leave a legacy that nobody else can top.
And going to have to ask you now, so you have 3 MVPs, 3 championships. Is this 3 finals MVPs as well?
It's a CVS receipt, man. It goes
yeah,
on
I don't know where else you could paint your name on the CEBL record books and accolades, but we got people in the chats going crazy wondering, hey, Wolverine, what do you think about running it back in 2027?
It's hard to say right now. I feel like this was the perfect time for me to do it coming off an injury. I had a shortened season in Russia this year. Obviously not knowing if I would be able to play once I got here, having to get my letter of clearance and all that. But man, I really came back because I heard everything that was said. I know a lot of people had doubts on when I played in the league and this guy is better than him or the league is better now. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say right now. I'm gonna ride this roller coaster of emotions for the next 2 days probably, and then we'll revisit the conversation in the next couple months. But I'm gonna definitely enjoy the time that I have left in Winnipeg, man, and we'll see what happens.
Well, make sure you got those rings sized up because there's going to be a ring ceremony coming up in 2027. So I'm sure fans are going to want to see you then. Hey, thank you so much for making the time, X.
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate you.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
coming
in
on.
Italy
Yeah,
next
thank
year.
you so
And
much.
yeah, whether you're back in the CEBL or not, you left a legacy I don't think anybody's going to touch. So I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
All right. This is Xavier Moon, the CEBL Finals MVP, 3-time champion, 3-time MVP. Anything else you want me to roll in here?
I'm going to play shebang quick if you guys don't know. Tables have turned, man.
Awesome. All right. Okay. Man, go party with everybody.
Yeah.
It's that time.
We keep
It's
going.
that time.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you taking the time. And now for our next guest.
Oh,
We
Big
got,
shoes to fill.
can
Wow.
top
as
somehow?
promised,
I don't think I
Taylor
see that
Allen
one.
is going to join us here, but Taylor Allen has a real job, so he had to come sit.
This is the first time meeting here, Joey.
All right, take a seat, Taylor. Get comfy, guy.
Dude, what's
This
going
is
on?
we got Taylor Allen sitting beside Matt
Taylor Allen, tell us
Bonomi.
about your performance tonight. What
Dude, good to
did it
see
take
ya.
you to get this victory here tonight?
Well, first of all, to go from Xavier Moon to Taylor Allen, bit of a drop off in guest quality.
A few less
here.
accolades. That's for
So
sure.
humble.
I'm sure half the chat probably just left right now, but
Actually, we've seen a pretty big jump as soon as you sat down. So.
shocking. Wow.
Oh, wow,
But,
yeah, there's a
um,
significant jump. Off the cliff.
Oh, shout out Smirky. He wasn't able to make the game. He was on a plane, watching it on the plane. Said he cried tears of joy on the plane. So that's awesome, man.
Shout out for paying for that Wi-Fi.
You had a
That was
pretty
not
good seat
cheap.
for this game too, right? You were in the
I
middle of the
did.
action there.
Media row. And
Very
honestly,
nice.
before the game started, I took a second just to kind of look around, right? Like, I'm kind of cheesy, but like seriously, like
Oh, yeah.
5-10 years ago, this wasn't a reality for Winnipeg, right? So to be in this building, just to look around, see 12,000 people just going crazy for basketball in a city that people think is, a hockey city and curling city as
Yeah,
well,
big time,
right?
yeah.
But like, no, this is a basketball town. Like, I grew up in Amber Trails, which means nothing to you two, or you either as well.
Like, what is that, a granola bar or something?
But I grew up in Amber Trails in the Maples. Like, that's kind of like the mecca of basketball in Winnipeg. And, every second street had a basketball hoop on it and stuff. So I always knew that this is a true basketball city. So to finally have this platform and really just be the focus of Canadian basketball for a night was super cool. And to see the guys pull it out too, and just see everyone, celebrate as well, is just pretty cool, potentially once in a lifetime opportunity. So it
Fun
was
year
awesome.
for two, because not only because you cover the Bombers full time for the Winnipeg Free Press, so you got to go here because they played yesterday, so no schedule conflict, which is nice. And then further to that, you made your color commentary debut this year, aka Jimmy, right?
That's right.
That's why the Jimmy comes out. And now you're here on the championship. I don't know. Like for me, I did have a moment where I was like, I have to stop looking at the screen.
Where's the trophy?
There was a guy. Yeah, Phoebus.
You promised a trophy.
It's all right.
He's the owner.
Get David out
He
here.
is the owner.
So, there's a moment where I look up at the screen and then I stop looking at the screen immediately because what's up, Phoebes? There's the legend himself.
The goat.
Someone had
Bah.
a signed Chad Posthumous jersey, holding it up in target time, crying. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I took a second just before the last one to look up at that and just thinking like, man, how far we've come. Like we talk about season adversity, man, this franchise lost its heart, like the heart of the team. And if you're not here, and you don't see it, you might not fully understand just what Chad Posthumous meant to this basketball team, to this program, to the basketball community. And there was a moment where, I'm thinking, man, like Chad would have loved this. And I know he was here in spirit for sure, but I don't know, like when you were saying you had that emotional moment, that was mine too. I'm like, I got to do interviews here. I can't be choking up. But that was what was going on in your mind, man, because you've been here from day one and everything that you said, to see 12,500 people for a basketball game. This is the loudest I've heard this arena. I've been to Jets playoffs games, and that was right up there with it. And I think because you're so close to the surface here and there's no glass, it felt that much more intense. You're a guy that was born and raised here. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, just going back to Chad for a second, Mike Rainbow actually said if Chad could have handpicked someone to finish this game tonight, he would have picked Simon. I was talking to Chad's dad, Charles, as well, and he was getting emotional, just talking about how Simon was the guy to finish it, just saying how close him and Chad were and stuff. So pretty poetic how it ended, obviously. And what do we have here?
Check it out, merch coming out. Oh, it's over there. I'm like so used to the webcam. Merch coming out soon. These are nice hats.
How much you want for that? How much you want for that right now? Priceless. Good answer. That's the answer we wanted.
They're bandwagoners anyway, man. Yeah, good job.
Don't look at my shirt. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the hospitality.
So but Taylor, to add to your point, like we're just saying with Xavier, right? Simon had a small part during the season. Like obviously didn't stand out on the scoreboard every night, but just to step up the way he did. And I mean, you probably followed him since his U Sports days. Like, how proud of you are you of him and what he was able to achieve in this playoff run?
He had to step up, right? Like the Sea Bears were decimated when it came to bigs, right? Like losing Jeremiah Tillman Jr., your starting center on the eve of playoffs, right? Losing Teddy as well, and then Emmanuel Acott, their most versatile kind of Canadian defender, right? So Chad was like, it was him and DJ Burns. Like these are two guys that weren't playing a ton of minutes all season long. And Simon absolutely stepped up to the plate and delivered. Like you're right. Like there's times this year where he was kind of riding the bench, not really having a big role, but this was his chance to really showcase what he can do. And honestly, you look at this playoff run, he was probably the best Canadian in this entire thing, right? Like his stock is just totally, taken off. So kudos to him, man. Like he is, I mean, there's so many great stories about the Sea Bears team and of course Brampton's run too, but Simon Hildebrand, like, again, just for everything that's happened to this team this past week or two, there's no way that there's confetti that's Sea Bears colors right now if it wasn't for Simon.
And, to you guys, you probably don't know this, but there's a lot of heartbreak that happens in this building time after time, right? Like this team didn't win a playoff game for the first 3 years, right? They'd always been in the playoffs and never won a game. They had the conference final last year in championship weekend. They lose that one to Calgary.
Well, David Asper was talking about the puke, the taste in his mouth from that.
Well, you could tell that's Tell us
what year was it?
2001 Grey Cup.
2001 Grey Cup when Stampeders.
Yeah, and they were both sub 500 teams, and then the Stamps beat the Blue Bombers. And he said, "I had this piece of barf in the back of my throat."
And then seeing another sub 500 team come into his building and potentially upset.
That's disgusting.
Well, that 01 Bombers team was maybe the greatest Bombers team of all time. They had Kahari Jones, Milt Stiegel, Charles Roberts, just an absolute unit of a team. Doug Brown as well. And they were the heavy favorites playing a pretty underwhelming Calgary team. So if anyone who's a Bombers fan in Winnipeg, that's like the most probably traumatizing loss in franchise history. And David Asper is, one of the biggest Bomber fans you could ever find. So I'm not surprised that he pulled that experience out of his back pocket, because that was a tough one for Winnipeggers for sure.
And the best part was, I think we said this on the pregame thing too. We asked him where Leonard was sitting, his brother, and he goes, "I don't bleep and know." I don't bleep and care.
They hugged though. They hugged after the game.
I heard Leonard was the first person to go in the court and hug him. So that's nice
cool.
moment.
Well, you got to think too, for Leonard, this is his hometown.
Yeah.
Right. So as much as it hurts, there's got to be that kind of, at the same time, to see my city celebrating a sport in a league that I bought into. Again, you want to win. I mean, he'd rather be seeing everybody sad and walking out silent while he's celebrating with his team. But 100%, there's so many great ties to this team in this league. The way Simon went on, he had 40 minutes. I just want to bring this up here from our friend Joe Hand in Leicester, who was staying up. I guess not as late as normal, Joe, but still appreciate you staying up for this one. He's out in Leicester, UK. As you know, you've heard his story with Teddy Allen. The Posthumous family are some of the most amazing people we have ever met, welcomed us into their house, and are just the best. Charles and Diana, Chad's parents, he was wearing the Jackie Moon. That's his big thing. He's undefeated in the Jackie Moon costume.
Well, do you know the story of that costume? Chad wore that to an Oklahoma City Thunder Halloween party.
Oh,
that exact costume?
That exact costume.
Come on.
So Charles has brought it out for big games, and the Sea Bears are undefeated when he's worn the jacket.
I think
Carmelo Anthony actually hosted the the party or whatever for the
Oh,
Thunder
that's
at the time.
amazing.
So yeah, he's
That's a sick
been bringing it
story.
out, and obviously it's working.
That needs to be sent to the CEBL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Maybe
When that becomes a thing.
Here's stat guy Ty, who's just standing off camera here, but feeding us the stats, says Simon tonight, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks, and he drew a game-high 7 fouls in 40 minutes and 23 seconds after target score, when you include target score time.
Crazy.
Absolutely phenomenal game, and he's just been on the up and up. We said, was it the Saskatoon game where we said that's his man game?
Yes.
When he had the 24 points.
No longer the U Sports
No.
kid. He is a man out there now.
A legitimate pro, and you were just standing off to the side, and Xavier saying, he's ready for it, and he's going to be coming to Winnipeg as much as he can, if not every summer. To see what he did here today and how poised he is, it was just phenomenal. I also want to shout out Jelani Watson-Gale.
I was just going to say, we don't see this guy a lot, but like that guy
that
changed
first half.
the game.
Yeah, well, if it's
second
not for
quarter,
his
that second quarter
12
was
points in the
nuts.
second quarter. I mean, he didn't score in the second half, but that was like the moment where we were sitting up there and we're like, if Simon keeps hitting the way he's hitting and Jelani Watson-Gale keeps hitting the way he's hitting, then this is over.
Totally.
Like, it's like you can hit as many shots as you want if you're Brampton, but you're not like D. You said it.
No,
you
like
can score twos, but you're trading off threes every time.
Yeah, that was the most frustrating. Like every time you hit a 3, it's just like it's compiling. I'm like, every time we're hitting a 2, they're hitting a 3 on the other end. And the most fascinating thing for me is like, Jelani Watson-Gale was fantastic in that first half, and then you have Xavier take over the third, and then you have Simon and Xavier do their thing in the fourth, and it was just like just a complete team effort. And it's crazy just to think like the what ifs, right? Teddy's in here, right? Are the guys able to flourish? And I know you guys have talked about that, right? They really opened up the offense and allowed guys to kind of be the best versions of themselves. But I'm just so fascinated that come playoff time, when push comes to shove, these guys just played for one another and stepped up in a big way.
Well, it was a league record, 17 points in the first half in a CEBL finals game. That Jelani Watson-Gale tied tonight. So yeah, when he's hot, he's red hot. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite the shooting performance by him. And like you said, yeah, you see him drop 17 that first half. Like, oh boy, he's gonna finish this thing with 30-something points tonight. And then second half is like, hey, don't worry, Xavier Moon and Simon Hildebrand will take it from here. So yeah, this team was just so well rounded, and it wasn't just one guy doing it. This whole playoff run, everyone chipped in and was balling out. So yeah, this truly was a big time team effort all the way around.
Mike Rainbow. My goodness, Mike Rainbow.
That's why he snuck on the ballot, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
for a lot of us.
I think he's in his 19th year, or going close to that. I can't remember how many years exactly he's been with the Winnipeg Westmen, but go ahead.
I was asking Matt, first U Sports coach to win this whole thing?
Like straight out of U Sports and into the league. So we have Jermaine Small
2,
Vic Razzo 2,
Scarborough was,
Schmidt,
you said.
Brampton was
Ryan Schmidt.
He wasn't U Sports.
Might be.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah. No, he might be.
And Scarborough.
Because I thought it was going to be Vernon, right? And then.
Yeah. Well, Mike Rainbow, I'll tell you what. He's the epitome of never too high, never too low. Even when he was here celebrating, like that's as most excited as I've seen him. And
can I give you a shirt idea?
Oh my God.
Never too high, never too low. It's Mike Rainbow.
Whoa.
over the rainbow.
Look at this.
Let us
the boys
know.
right here. You know what?
Let us know how we feel in the comments about that one.
Mike Rainbow.
But Mike Rainbow,
don't hate it.
The other thing, he's balancing 2 teams right now. He's not out of the University of Winnipeg. There were many times where he'd have practice here in the morning, do his media, and then have to go home for a bit, grab lunch, and head over to do his summer runs because he has a season coming up with the Westmen. Here's a guy who, again, was the assistant coach here. It does a lot with U Sports, but a guy that in Taylor, we could attest to this, was a little nervous. He wasn't, you don't get as much media. He wasn't a big fan of doing the media at the Westmen. Does a great job, and he's great with us, gives a lot of insight. You want to come on the post game show or what?
Come on, hop on.
DJ Burns coming on here with
I'll give my
straight party. But no, Mike Rainbow, phenomenal job just bringing this all together. And I think, and we could ask DJ about this, but the development he brings as a university coach, I think it makes everybody here a better player.
Hope you guys are thirsty.
Are you sharing that? Is that even popped yet?
Here we go. DJ Burns. Let you get your headset on, guy.
FaceTime, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Family back home. We got to celebrate with the ones we love.
Congrats,
yeah.
man.
Well, hey, congratulations.
How you doing?
Champ, how does it feel?
Oh man, first of all, it's a blessing, an honor. With a crowd like this and a support system, organization like this, it makes it real easy to do our job. And that's all you can ask for as an athlete. So man, that's a dream scenario and a storybook ending.
Before we talk about this game, your role when you first come into the team. First off, it's a little later than you thought, right? Because you had some commitments overseas. You come in here, at first you're not getting a ton of playing time, but you're positive, right? And Trey Scott's here, and he's kind of filling that role. Trey Scott leaves, and then suddenly not only your production, but your time goes up, your production skyrockets, and you become a valuable part of this team. Not only that, a fan favorite, as the guy who gets the fans fired up. I mean, when you kind of take a second to step back and look at this entire season that you played here, I mean, how do you put what you just went through into words?
Well, like I said, first of all, I just take it as a blessing and an honor. Not everybody gets to be a professional athlete, winning championships, and being in the settings like this. So you got to take it in stride. That was one big thing that we preached this week. Me and Moon is just, just being in love with it. The process, being the people that you're with. Everybody, from everyone that come on the road trips to everyone you just get to see in the morning. Because not everybody gets to do this. And when, like I said, you have the support system, you have that. Like I said, it makes me easy to be a crowd favorite, to play my tail off, to just do everything possible to try to help my team win. Everything around me makes my job 1,000% easy, and I feel like it shows.
After that first playoff win you guys had against Saskatchewan, I asked you about being an energy guy, and you said, well, I learned at a young age that it's important to be an energy guy, play with energy, play with your emotions. Where did you learn that? Where did that really come from?
Oh, that's credit to New Orleans, Louisiana. It's nothing like New Orleans. It's a tough place growing up, but it gives you some pride. It gives you some hard work, and it gives you some grit. And in times like this and in moments like this, you need that. And, I'm blessed to be from New Orleans, to see the things that I've seen and then be in the blessed situations I've been. And it helped me, hardened me to get to these type of moments and being able to capitalize on it. So I'm happy right now. This is my second championship. I've only been a pro my second year. So I'm just blessed. I'm blessed right now. I have nothing else to say, but just I'm blessed.
Now let's look at this game. I mean, 12,500 people.
Wow.
This is the loudest I've ever heard the arena, and that's not to say it's not loud. It's loud at the even the not best of times. What was this experience like? Because I know I was talking to Trey McGowan's, after that Saskatoon game, and he said we saw the comments and people doubting as soon as Emmanuel Acott was gone and Jeremiah Tillman Jr., Teddy. But to see the crowd come back, it almost felt like those that might not have showed up in that first round game after you beat Vancouver were like, kind of tail between their legs, but, with their chests out at the same time, like, hey, we're ready here, man. Because I feel like this city feels like you really went out for them, even though when they might have doubted what they don't often do.
Oh, for sure. And we wanted to show, that's why, we played so hard. That's why we dove on the loose ball. That's why I try to do everything I can to get the energy, just riled up. Like I said, everybody's, as an athlete, especially here in Canada, doesn't get this type of treatment, these type of support system, these type of crowds here. And even when I was walking through, after I was winning the championship, I got told, just congratulations 20,000 times. Everybody doesn't get that, even after getting that. So, like I said, T, McGowan's, X, all of us, we all huddled together, and we took it a little bit personal. We took a little bit of chip on our shoulder, and even though we love Tilly, Acott, T Scott, that's my dog. I literally just talked to him. We know we had to do. We're professionals at the end of the day, and we're here for a reason as well. And you got to really give you got to give real credit to Coach and Lex just for building an unbelievable roster. Like, this roster was like 1 through 20, just talented. Any of us could have played. We still had some more guys that had something to give. You've seen it, and it's just trusting the process.
So was there a team meeting? Did someone say something like when that week was happening, when you're losing Teddy, Acott, Tillman? Like, what was that moment where you guys knew, like, you know what, this sucks what's happened these past few days, but like, hey, we still got this?
Right. I feel like I took it upon myself. Everybody did. Everybody, we said we wanted to say we got off our chest. Even to Tilly, Acott, and everybody, not in a mean type of way, because we all brothers. We still talk. We all celebrate in the group chat right now, everybody that left. But, we had to keep it real with one another. And, we had to let all our emotions out. And then, we was able to compound it and put it back together. And you seen, the grit and the hard work of that week span of having, togetherness. You seen it, play by play.
From a Brampton perspective, and we cover the games of Brampton, the home portion of the season at least, and the bigs were the talk heading into this finals. It seemed we discussed it a lot. I mean, Matthew Moncrief, who's been a double-double machine, first year in the league. Keon Ambrose-Hilton, who was an All-Canadian last year. I mean, there was a lot of hype around this. Tegra Eze coming into his shoes later in the season. But to go up against you guys. I mean, a lot of people were talking about how Brampton might have the advantage. How did you prepare? I mean, you said you kind of took this personally and a little chip on your shoulder, but particularly inside. I mean, you had 8 rebounds. You also contributed on the perimeter. You had 6 assists to 8 points. How do you prepare to go against something kind of a David versus Goliath from the outside approach? But how do you kind of prepare for that internally?
Well, I mean, just me personally, I don't never really see it like that. I was fortunate to average 15 and 12 my senior year in college. I was, blessed and fortunate to average 14 and 8 this year in Israel. So I know, my worth and I know my talent. I was able to do that just for being a basketball player, not from doing nothing, flashy or just putting on the show. So, I mean, it's just great belief within myself and just understanding, the coaching staff and why they had me here. It's the reason why. I mean, I just really I guess, took it upon myself to just have pride and energy. And, with God, anything is possible. And I just was able to do whatever I had to do to get the win. That's me.
Was there ever a moment during this season, though, when maybe you weren't getting the minutes that you probably felt like that you deserved, that you were did you ever think like, man, maybe I'll just get out here? This ain't working.
For sure. I'll probably tell you 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I loved everybody here, and that's why it made it so hard, to even make a decision like that or even talk in that type of way. But I respect my craft and I respect what I bring to the court. So at some point, I was just like, maybe I should get a couple weeks because, like, I was able to put all the chips on the table here, but like in 4 days I'll be in Romania. So like, you got to sacrifice something, in order to get something that nobody ever had, and I'm okay with that. And so is everybody else here. Everybody's kind of in that same type of boat. Everybody within the next week, couple of days will be getting on to the next journey. But it's, just with great belief and great sacrifice, we all said we was going to do it from the beginning and we stuck to it. And you saw just the results of it.
We were just, and you brought it up, you talked about Mike and Alex, and I'd like to touch on both of them real quick before you go. Mike Rainbow is a very successful coach at the university level. This was his first time as a head coach at the pros. And I remember day one, I know you wouldn't have been there, but I remember that was my first kind of, how is he going to go from coaching, young men to professionals where there's money on the table? Because he's built teams with the University of Winnipeg that are much like this. Undersized, undervalued, overlooked, and he gets the best out of them, and I know he's still knocking on that Nationals door. He's not won the Nationals since he got to Winnipeg, but he's been at the Nationals so many times. What does he bring? Because I was so impressed day one, the command that he had with you guys in that first practice, again, before you were here. But, for the guy to go up, command the respect that he does, and the development that he brings. Do you feel as a professional, was there any value here that he might have brought that you might not have got from other coaches, all your way up to this point?
Oh, for sure. Like to be a championship coach, you just can't have good players. You got to have a good set around. You got to have a good setup. Even preparing us for this week, I think the coaches made a great point and made us really focus and lock in and until you saw dominance, this whole playoffs. And that was a lot of great, focus on their end, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings. So, you see it and how we play. We're just a living organism of them, and what they preach and what they want. And as you see what they want, what they preaching. We was able to win the championship. But just him being a great guy, him being real conversational. Him really being real personable, him just understanding. Me and Coach throughout this time, it's been difficult for me. We had real life conversations, and it made it easier for me to stay and rock out with him and trust him. Because when you're able to go to him and say, hey, my daughter's sick, or hey, how's your family doing today, or whatever the case may be, and you're able to have those 5-10 minute conversations, they'll actually do add up into a championship caliber team. And for that guy, I'll run through a brick wall for him. As hopefully people seeing, you're just a great guy all around, man. He's gonna get the job done, and I just can't wait to see the show that he puts on himself.
Now to flip over to Alex Campbell. He was just playing, right? This is his first time coming up as a coach. I know Mike Rainbow often openly talks, voluntarily about how great of a job he did in helping build this team. In my opinion, Alex Campbell is the next up-and-coming coach, not only in the CEBL, but in youth sports, where he's also a lead assistant. He appears to be a great recruiter. He appears to be a great culture guy. What was the key ingredient that he brought to this team in terms of building it, but also bringing it together, especially when we talk about that adversity of losing the 3 starters going into playoffs?
Well, I mean, not a lot of people understand this and know this, but that's the guy that I actually signed to. I was able to talk to Coach, but Lex was the one that, called me. We had great conversations, and we had great belief within each other. And that was the reason why, you know, I was able to do my job how I did, you know, just having a guy like that. And he's actually a real reason why I stayed, you know. And I put in the work and did whatever I had to do just to be that guy because, you know, he know what it takes to win. You know, he was a champion here before. He's seen it at different levels. He's seen it at highest levels. And, you know, he just knows, you know. I got to give great work to him just because, I mean, not only did he recruit us, but, you know, he helped mold us and have understanding and have those tough conversations that maybe, you know, you're kind of scared to have with head coach or you're kind of scared to let people know exactly how you feel, whatever the case may be. Just being that guy there all around, just be acceptable for whoever we are. And, you know, even living with us, you know, him being around us, you know, just being able to just go knock on his door and say, hey, what you doing? You know, and not always look up at him and say, hey, this is a coach. You know, this is a person. This is a friend as well. And just having that respect level. I mean, man, Lex, I love him. We brothers for life, and he knows, you know, we're going to be together a long time going in the future.
I'm going to let you guys get to it, but the chat's going crazy. They want to know about the sword celebration. Can you explain?
That was nasty. That was nasty. They showed you on the screen and you're going like this, and I thought you were going to kill someone or something.
So listen, I think people got a little mixed up. So it's seatbelt. So like what we do on defense, I sit down on defense. I don't believe not about it. Not too many people can go past me or go through me. You know, it's just the self-belief. So I got to give credit to just, you know, hard work and it becoming like kind of a thing with the crowd, you know, looking at people and waiting for them and we just connecting at the same time and doing it. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that you always connect with people here in Winnipeg and having that relationship with people. But for me, I like to sit down on defense. I feel like I'm one of the anchors on defense. So I got to make sure everybody knows it.
Glad I asked it because we got clarification.
Clarification.
I got a question on behalf of D. Do you guys have anything else before I ask?
Go for it. Oh, yeah. Well,
so D, our fourth member of our squad here, he's a big foodie.
Okay.
Besides Prosecco,
okay,
what is your favorite Southern New Orleans meal to eat?
I have to say anything boiled seafood. Like, you know, I'll be going home on like Sunday, Monday, and I'm going like call my mom like, "Mom, I need some seafood ASAP off the way, right off the flight." You know, yeah, my mom's a chef, so I'm a little spoiled when it comes to food in New Orleans. But anything from seafood to po' boy to, I mean, etouffee, we can go on and on. You know, we don't want to talk food. I'll be here for many but New Orleans foods, yeah, one of one.
Now you talked about the poor boy. You got to go get the Fat Boy in Winnipeg. That's what we're known for.
Oh,
that's like the chili dip burger.
Okay, I might have to go get some of that.
Yeah. Non-locals now. What is Fat Boy?
Juniors is one. All of them have it. There's a lot of places that have it.
Yeah.
But
it's a burger that has chili sauce on
it's like a chili
on
burger.
the patty,
Really?
you know, some mayo.
Yeah.
Shredded lettuce, tomato.
Have you tried honey dill sauce yet?
I have tried it. I liked it.
Okay, so you got
different, yeah.
honey dill sauce, and then the Fat Boy sandwiches, and also pizza pops are from Winnipeg as well.
They were invented in
Winnipeg, like the Pillsbury pizza pops.
Like
pizza
pockets.
Yeah, those are invented here. Yeah.
Okay.
You wash it all down with Prosecco.
There you
Well,
go.
hey,
the meal of champions right there. There you go.
DJ, we won't keep you. I know you want to go party, man. And I appreciate you making the time. And hey, I don't know what your future plans are in the CEBL, but it was great to see you here doing your thing. Great story, and really appreciate you taking the time here because I know this is a fun time. So to join us here, we really do appreciate it. Best of luck overseas, and hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see you back here next year.
Maybe we see you soon.
All right.
You're a blast to watch, man.
Enjoy this, man. Thank you. All right, that's
man.
DJ Burns, the crowd favorite. It's not a sword, everyone. It's a seatbelt. Safety
You
first.
can have it if you want. Yeah.
Here you thought he was doing the most dangerous, and meanwhile, all he was doing.
DJ before he goes. Who dat? I'm a huge Saints fan. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
D always sucking up to everybody.
Yeah, Shuck is the future, man. Shuck is the future.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
I'm a Vikings fan. I have to watch JJ McCarthy last year.
Oh my God. I'd rather watch the TV off.
It was getting to that point. I think you broadcasting guys are in trouble. DJ Burns, he's great.
I know.
I think he's taking one of your jobs.
He's got a future.
Oh, you're not the one that threatened. These guys.
I'm in print. I'm out of my element right now.
You know what? I do love hearing about Southern food, though. I don't know why. I threw you under the bus there and said this was a question, but I wanted to hear about. I wanted to hear about that. That's like what? So what is a Fat Boy? What do you call it?
It's a burger.
I blacked out there when you said that. I was trying to think of it.
Wait, say Fat Boy or Pull Boy?
Fat Boy.
Both of those.
So it's a burger that was kind of made famous in Winnipeg. So it's just a normal burger, but you put chili sauce on the patty. And there's shredded lettuce, not just a slice of lettuce, like shredded lettuce. It has to be shredded lettuce.
I know what we're
Tomato.
doing for dinner tonight.
So there's a guy on Instagram. He's a Winnipeg guy, and he goes around town. His name is handle is For the Love of Fat Boys, I believe, and he reviews all the fat boys.
I didn't know.
in town.
I didn't know this.
If he's watching
Yeah.
this right now, you know where you
He's
need
a big
to do your
deal.
next review right here. Back
So-
door's open.
That's a Winnipeg thing, Fat Boy.
Okay, fat
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Nice.
Sold.
I'm sold on that. Pretty well.
Sail
Yeah,
us.
Yeah, we have to. We're trying
All
to
right,
make dinner
let's get a little bit back into the game here before we wrap things up. Just a reminder too, we have a live show tomorrow morning. You guys got to remember this too. Live show tomorrow morning, Monday's Cafe, corner of Broadway and Donald, 305 Broadway. We'll start at about 10:30. So if you are able to make it, love to have you out, have a coffee, come hang out with us. We're going to talk a little more basketball because we don't have time to get into it today. But I really want Bonomi and Taylor Allen, Cousin Tay, to duke it out.
Yes.
Because you guys,
Fight.
you guys
fight.
are
we're
dukes.
best
Fight.
buds.
Fight.
I know.
Fight.
I know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Dukes
Right now?
here. No. We said tomorrow. We got to wait for it until tomorrow. But just that reminder. But yeah, let's touch on Brampton here because Brampton was off to a great start in the first half.
By the way, sorry, we both applied for CAA management jobs at the Brampton location.
That's
but
right.
Anyway,
Take back everything we said.
yeah, I didn't mean any of it.
But you look at, we talked about Sean East, and we knew he was going to have a big game. He had 27 points. It pales a little bit to what he did last time he was here. But aside from Trenton Flowers, who put up 20, who also played a phenomenal game and is going to be a great talent, I'm sure he will get more NBA looks here as he moves forward. But not a lot of help coming out from this team. I mean, everybody else in single digits. I think it was just a little too much of Sean East because I did feel like at the end of the first half, I'm thinking, they do look like they have some control here. And I also felt like, if Xavier Moon didn't go off because he was a little slower in the first half, I had a good feeling he probably would go off, but I thought, man, someone has to step in for Sean East because it was just too easy. It's almost like you just have to guard Sean East. Ize had a few massive dunks throughout the game, but it kind of felt like too little,
it's
too
always
late.
laying it in, so it was nice to see him actually throw it down. That's what we've been preaching.
But I mean, you guys have watched him all year. I mean, when you guys were watching this, was there any point in the second half where you're thinking, okay, they're just getting going, or did you have some concerns at any point in the game where you thought this is, this might be falling through the cracks?
Yeah, I mean, Sean had 16 in the first half, and me and Matt said he just can't do this alone. It was kind of weird, and there was a point in the third quarter where Flowers sat a lot, and he wasn't in foul trouble, so I don't know what the decision behind that was. But shout out to our guy Ty here because it was the third quarter.
Sorry, it's not Ty.
Stat guy.
Government issue
I'm
name.
sorry,
Government
I'm
issue
sorry.
name.
I'm sorry,
Tyler
stat guy
Mazur,
Ty.
like,
Disrespect.
But it was the third quarter that was the difference, right? Winnipeg went on a 12-0 run in the third, and Brampton we're stuck at 54 for 420. Like how many times did we look at the scoreboard and we're like, they're still at 54, they're still at 54, and to me that was ultimately the difference. And there was a stat that was shared in the group chat that Brampton was 10-1 this season when leading after the first quarter. So that was a reason for us to feel optimistic because anytime they've stunk in the first quarter, we're like, okay, we know what this is leading to, what the recipe is. But that's where we were so optimistic after that first quarter. But that third quarter was just an absolute backbreaker for this team, and that's when they just weren't able to rally enough together to get back in this game.
If you get 13 combined points between Tyrese Hunter, Roddy Peters Jr., and Cam Tyson, I mean, Peters Jr. and Tyson are coming off the bench. Hunter had 8, which was a high between the three of them, but
you need one of those guys to step up, just one of them.
It's weird because it's almost been disappointing. Like the second half of the season was certainly disappointing, but this game was really disappointing in a lot of ways. And I know people will turn around and say, well, they only lost by 14. I mean, that's not a complete waxing. It's not a blowout, but I mean, it's not that close. But like Cam Tyson was disappointing down the stretch. I mean, that's the reality situation. We talked about it a ton. Roddy Peters Jr. in this game played 15 minutes. He came off the bench, 2 points from him. He had double digits in all of his games prior to his suspension there. And that was, that was disappointing too. I mean, Tyrese Hunter, again, was good when he came back, when he got the call back from that ankle injury, and Roddy Peters was suspended, but you can't go 3 of 12, right? Like, it just felt like one of those games where you needed to bring your best, especially in this environment. Yeah. And again, it's like, it's not even like, in some cases, it was almost like who's going to miss first. And then it was like, okay, is Brampton ever going to hit a shot again?
Yeah.
And then it turns into hero iso ball where you get tough shots where like Hunter stepping back, taking a 3, or like East tries to do it all, or the ball ends up in like Moncrief's hands on the perimeter late in the possession, and it's like, well, he's not going to shoot that shot. Like Keon took a 3 at one point. And like, it's just stuff like that where it's not like one-off possessions where every 10 you have a bad or a single poor possession. It was like in 10 you'd see like 3 or 4, and then the turnovers. Like Winnipeg only turned the ball over 9 times. Brampton turned it over 20 times. Like I said to you, I'm like 19 turnovers at one point. I'm like, they have to have 20 turnovers. Like, it's
and
just
I think
like
that would be
gifting.
the difference, right? The threes, the rebounding, and the turnovers, and the 3 battle. Those were lost, right? The rebounds, luckily, they were able to get from Moncrief and
he was great.
Great. Yeah, they were both great, but 19 turnovers. I mean, anytime we've seen this team turn over that much, they're not very successful. So it was just frustrating. And maybe you guys can agree with us. There were times in this game where Winnipeg went in a drought or were turning over the ball a couple of times, and it looked like Brampton was certainly given chances to get back in this game, but they just couldn't knock any shots down in that second half.
Well, you can go ahead, Tay.
Well, also in that first quarter, the Sea Bears were ice cold. Like there was a lid on the basket, right? They were 1 for 7 from deep, and yet Brampton was only up by 4 at the end of the first quarter. So it's kind of like, okay, well, the Sea Bears kind of gave you a window here to really kind of have a nice little lead going into the second quarter, and they didn't really take advantage. It was kind of like, okay, once the Sea Bears actually start making some shots, Brampton might be in trouble. And sure enough, the third quarter rolls around, and second quarter rolls around, and Jelani puts on his Superman cape, and he hits what felt like 27 3-pointers, and it was kind of just smooth sailing from there to an extent.
There's a moment for me where it kind of turned around, and it was early in the second quarter because I was a little critical of Jelani Watson-Gale and his aggressiveness towards loose balls. And because I was doing the sideline reporting for the national games, they have us at baseline. So it's a different perspective from most games, whether you're doing, and D, like for the local games, we're usually on the sideline.
Yep.
But there's a loose ball here, and it doesn't look like he's going to get it, right? It's one of those ones where I honestly wouldn't have blamed him to just kind of, and there was no hesitation. He went down to the ground along the baseline, saves it from going out of bounds, and taps it over, I believe, to Simon Hildebrandt to get that possession. Forces the turnover on Brampton, gets the possession, and then Xavier Moon goes down and scores. And this is before he was shooting out the lights, right? And it was 2 things. It was Jelani Watson-Gale doing the extra things that we haven't seen him do consistently, and then Xavier Moon with what I call a leadership layup. He went in and he finished the play after your teammate earned you that possession. You don't mess it around. He kind of took it into his own hands in traffic and made sure that they scored 2 points. When that happened, I started to think this could be Winnipeg's night because they're doing the little extras from guys that don't normally do this. I also felt, again, I am working and I'm on the sidelines, but this whole game felt dreamy. Like regardless of who was going to win, like just the atmosphere in here where I was standing from, it was packed from the upper deck to the lower deck with people with towels waving them like crazy. I didn't have time to worry or think like, is this team going to come back? Is that team shooting well? The whole time just kind of felt like this environment. The fans certainly felt that way, but like this whole thing feels like a rush. Like I almost feel like it didn't happen.
And yet yesterday he was arguing with me that we should go back to a neutral site for the finals. And now,
you know what?
We're going this guy.
That's a can of worms open right there.
Fair.
Go ahead, Joey.
Fair.
No, but as a visiting fan, it was frustrating because like we were cussing Brampton so many times. We're like, damn it, this crowd is so nice though. Like it's so hard to.
Oh, you weren't sitting by the fans behind the bench then. I'll just say.
Absolutely. But it was like, you're right. It was just like a dream scenario. We're just like, we'd be cussing and we'd be like, God damn it, like this, that. And then we're just like, this is so beautiful though.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to hate. Like I can't help but be thrilled for these fans, and especially because they've been so nice to us just in the less than 24 hours that we've been here.
Yeah. And the one thing I think that is very important to understand is the CEBL was desperate for a win, just in general, like figuratively, like any kind of win. And given the last 3 weeks of all the stuff that's happened, like you guys put it well yesterday when you were talking about it, like it's like stuff keeps happening, and like you Joey, I think you said like it's like gauze, like you got to rip the gauze off, let it heal, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they needed something, and again to have a hometown guy hit the game winner in a new record attendance final in season 8 to cap off, and this is the last memory people will have for a long time. Like the season finale, people are going to remember this until the beginning of next season. It kind of makes all that other stuff. I mean, again, it's still at the forefront of a lot of off-season discussion, but the last taste you have for a little bit, at least, is this happening. And the one thing that's so cool about Winnipeg that I was saying to a couple people after too is this is by far the biggest fan base in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Like if you looked at the CEBL 10-team league as a whole, I would say 50% of fans in the whole league are from this single franchise. If I had to guess, I mean, you could do the attendance. Like I saw Brampton post that graphic today saying 21,000 fans this season in the CAA Center, or at least tickets sold or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like we just hit 12-5 here in one game.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not like in the past, you guys like say like we rack up 8 a game, 8,000, 8,000, whatever it may be. But like, this is it. So to have this whole fan base, not only in a winning position, but to be on board times 10 now and finally get what they deserve, also was a massive win for the league. So again, it's like a win.
I'll say this. I'm still not ready to jump off the neutral site game, or at least having a finals. But what I will say is I think there might be, like, again, because we saw the difficulties of having a series, right? The other thing with the series, if this did go 3 games, and, coming from a reporter standpoint, like, let's just say, Brampton won the first game, Winnipeg wins the second. We don't even have enough time to turn around the storylines for the Sunday and dig into it like we're doing right now, right? So then, again, I don't have an answer. And I honestly think, like, with the marketing aspect last year, if the Sea Bears were in the finals and this team were in the finals, I bet you we would have absolutely smashed. Like, credit to the Sea Bears and the fans for coming out and getting those tickets. A lot of them were bought late. There's not a lot of time to market this when you have time to build up, because even that conference final games were awesome. It was, back to back, but maybe it's just one game. I don't know. Or if you do the finals, maybe you just have the one game, right? And give it a full week. So the last game, when was the conference final over? That was Saturday last week. So maybe you go you give yourself Saturday, you give yourself a week, and you treat it like the Super Bowl or the Grey Cup, where you've got a week of media. They can get here a few days early. They can get used to the time change. You can start building these stories, mine these stories where you might get the more coverage. I applaud the league for trying the finals, and I believe we'll likely do the finals again next year. I would like to see it tweaked to at least give some breathing room between games for the players. I don't think they want to go back to back. So in a weird way, this might be the silver lining from a player perspective. I don't think they're as mad that the series had to be tossed because of what happened. But on the same token, if we are going to keep a series, it might be, hey, players rest. Media gets to break things down a little bit. You get to tell more stories. Like in the free press, you guys are going to have a ton of stories coming out between the 2 reporters that were here. But if this were a tie one, man, I want to lead up to game 3. I wanted the media team to have time to put that hype video together, right? To get those quotes, to not rush them for another afternoon game. Again, the afternoon game, I know this was the schedule they agreed on. If you're going to stick with TSN, I would love to see a night game during the week and a Sunday afternoon game. That's where we're conditioned to watch afternoons or on Sunday. But I think tonight was, I know it's Winnipeg, but Winnipeg started from nothing. This is an expansion team, right? So this was built, and I firmly believe that you can get similar numbers in other markets, but a lot of it has to come with the storylines. Big part of marketing isn't what you actually pay for. It's what you earn, and you have to give the media the time and the story, something worth covering. Tonight was worth covering. Tonight is a night that Sportsnet should have the highlights, that TSN should have the highlights, that local news station should have the highlights, that the Globe and Mail should have an article about, even just a write-up of, hey, the CBL Championship was awarded in front of a record 12,500 people.
No doubt.
I think there's a lot to take away from here that's going to make this better moving forward. But if we're going to do a best of 3 final, I'm not opposed to it, but I think we have to think ahead of just what time are we making the game? How are we getting the message out to people, and how are we letting the storylines develop themselves? But I thought this was a picture perfect ending for what has been a tough season for the CEBL. I mean, let's be real.
I just hope in the coming years we can get to a point where having over 12,000 fans at a CEBL game isn't really noteworthy.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Like, obviously, this is a nice feather to Winnipeg's cap that, like, yes, this is the most passionate CEBL fan base, but, like, trust me, the people of Winnipeg would love to see this environment all over the country. So, yeah, it might take some time, and maybe some teams need to be in different cities for that to happen. I don't know. And I don't mean that Brampton, but maybe.
Hey, man, we're right here.
Maybe. I didn't mean it that way. But
this isn't going to wait till tomorrow. Taylor and Bonomi are just going to... This is where the wrestling ring was.
That's not what I was implying.
Hey, T, you'll appreciate this.
Believe it or not. I'm a jerk, but that's not what I meant on that.
This is where the wrestling ring was set up for the Slam Jam game. That's all I'm saying. We're elevated here. This kind of of feels like a wrestling ring. If you guys want to go at it, go at it.
I can see why you guys took it that way.
Bro,
My apologies.
Bro, the mascot put somebody through a table
Right
in
here.
the fourth quarter while gameplay
Your
was going on.
emotions are crazy.
It's insane. It's on another freaking
Your
level.
in-game stuff is nuts.
I'm like, do I watch a wrestling match or do I watch the basketball game that's going on in the fourth quarter right now?
Well, the other thing too, Taylor, like, this is a year too that I know that was important for the Sea Bears. They've had some rough goes in terms of, players not like turn around on players and people wondering like, where are these players coming to go, and still kind of getting the vibe of this. And I think this championship earned them another few years of, being able to kind of understand that it's not the players on the team, it's what they're wearing on their chest, and recruiting the players that take that to heart. And I think this team, based on how they won it, not having their starting three guys, like three of their main guys gone, who also love playing here, by the way, they didn't want to leave. And as we talked, we were talking to DJ Burns saying, yeah, like I was FaceTiming guys, Xavier was FaceTiming Teddy Allen. I think this was the team, kind of like the first team. I feel like the first year team that, if they still had EJ and Asike, we probably had a different story. This team, we don't have the hypotheticals. They got it done. And I think this is the year for fans where you realize, hey, all we want are players that wear this jersey and are going to play the Winnipeg way and find it to be a privilege to play for this team. It's not easy. I mean, this isn't going to be the same team every year, but we just heard about Alex Campbell. For as long as he's with this team, Mike Rainbow, this is about team play. Everybody bought in. And I think this is a year where fans are going to realize that, yes, we're going to have turnover, but at the end of the day, we're going to celebrate the people that are here and not forget the ones that left. The Jeremiah Tillman Juniors are a big reason why they're here. The Trey Scotts, of course, the Teddy Allens, right? The Teddy Allen, I think, will be the MVP when it's all said and done. The Emmanuel Acotts, who's also a Winnipegger. Like those guys, even though they're not here to celebrate, that has to sting a little bit, right? Because they're out at training camp right now, running lines and trying to condition after they just played a full summer. They got the team to the race, or the big dance, as you would say, and they couldn't get it across the finish line with their boys. I think you have to give those guys credit, because it's not an easy decision to make, knowing that you're leaving your teammates to go somewhere else, but they have to do it. And they're not here to celebrate in person. And I think those guys, and not just with Winnipeg, all the teams leading up to this, that have won before and that will win moving forward, to remember the guys that were here for the entire ride, or not the entire ride. They had to get off the ride early, even though they probably didn't want to.
This might be recency bias, but I mean, to lose three starters the week of playoffs, right?
Crazy.
One of them being the MVP of this league, probably, right? Like, I don't think it's crazy to say that this was probably the most improbable championship run in league history, maybe.
100%. Yeah, that was the one thing we kept saying too. Like, that's the difference between good and bad teams. Like, bad teams lose their best guys and they crumble. Good teams lose their best guys or have gaps and they fill those gaps, right? And then you end up, you can't even notice the difference, right? And in this case, it's Xavier Moon, who says, like, yeah, no problem, I'll just fill in for all three guys. Or like DJ Burns, 8 and 6 tonight. Like, I'll fill in for the big men down low. Like, you don't even notice. Like, if you and I walked into this gym today and we weren't told that those three guys weren't on the team, and this was the Winnipeg team, I would have thought this was the Winnipeg team that you guys had all season.
Yeah,
totally.
Like, I would have never said to myself, where's Teddy Allen? Where are the other two lads? Like, where's the MVP and the other two guys? Like, it was honestly a seamless transition. And that's the difference, again, between a good and a bad team. And like this hands down, I mean, I know there was so much hype around Scarborough and Shebang.
Mostly because of you.
But like, there was so much hype around Scarborough, all the hype around Vancouver too. Chris Wiggins is clenching his fist right now.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised Chris hasn't jumped in.
Where are you,
here.
Wiggy?
Yeah, where are you, Wiggy?
He's on the ledge right now. But
but he means the BC legislature. That's what he means.
Yeah. Good
Government
save.
job.
Good save. But all the talk around that, and we almost said too, like, coming into the end of the season when it came down to that final game, Vancouver and Winnipeg, and who was going to take the crown in the West, you're almost in a better spot to not win the West, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about seeding this and that, but it's less pressure. I mean, Vancouver, like Scarborough, had all this pressure because they've won the West in the past. Scarborough won the West. They had this elite record of 20 wins.
Win the East.
Won the East, and then had this elite record of 20 wins and all this. And then it's like, well, then you actually get to this dance, and then you can't move your feet, right? Like, you get so scared and nervous, you freeze up. And again, that's
Speaking
the
from
difference,
experience,
right?
have you frozen on the dance floor, maybe?
No, man. I'm a turn on Shebang. But that, it seemed like this Winnipeg team, like exactly what you said earlier too, Joey. Like, people kind of hung their heads, but had their chests out too at the same time, right? Like, they were still happy to be here. These guys had a chip on their shoulder. They knew it was on the line, and they're not going to roll over and die. And again, we've seen that in Brampton. Like, we've seen Brampton teams in the past firsthand experience roll over and die when the season doesn't go well.
Like halfway through the year.
Right?
Like,
Yeah. And it's just like they melt.
Well,
These guys lost again. They're 3 best guys and the MVP, and everybody, instead of going this way, went this way.
But I'll say this. If this was the team announced at the start of the year, that you had Xavier Moon, I'll throw Teddy Allen.
He would win MVP.
Yeah, because Teddy
That's my
Allen's
guess.
situation is unfortunate. But if you said you were going to get Xavier Moon, Teddy Allen, let's take Teddy Allen out. Xavier Moon, you have Trey McGowan's, Jelani Watson-Gale, who his first time around in 2023 was part of the heartbreak of that first team. We knew what he was capable of. A DJ Burns and an Isaiah Osborne, and a Simon Hildebrand. This market would be like, this is the greatest team ever.
Yeah.
Right. But there was a Jeremiah Tillman Jr. There was a Trey Scott. The Teddy Allen was here. And so it feels like it's a huge downgrade. But realistically speaking, that was clearly it was a deep roster. They're CEBL champions, right? Like that roster was incredibly deep. And the other thing, they got overlooked when Scarborough went on their run. Right, throughout the season. Because at the start of the season, we talked about this. Most people would have had preseason Brampton and Winnipeg because we didn't know who was on the team for Scarborough until like a day before their training camp, right? Because you guys were going to get Jameer Nelson Jr. and it's unfortunate.
We're still waiting for Jameer.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Shoot, someone's calling me.
So yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. It's like, this is these were teams that were destined to be here. And again, even for Brampton, it was a tough second half of the season. You got to overcome that. They still got the second place because of that 7-1 start. And this is the thing, even though the rosters are kind of phased at 3 different parts of the season, it still has to all mix together to get you in the position to get here. And Brampton got here. And up until about that third quarter and definitely in the fourth, it felt like Brampton had a shot, right? I think there was a little bit of hesitation here from Winnipeg fans and even the Sea Bears probably at times were like this is a game, and they beat them twice this year. They beat them in the first half at home. And when they weren't playing well, guess where they had their biggest win? Right here, right? A massive
Sean
win.
had his best game of the
Exactly.
year here too.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. So, I mean, these are teams that have come together that, again, they were 2 really deep teams. I think it speaks to how good the league has gotten. And I think it's only up from here.
2 things. I was talking to someone in the suite that we were in today. There were a number of people in there, which was cool. See different Brampton people. It was the only suite that had yellow in it. Probably the only place in the arena that had yellow in it. But it was like, this is Winnipeg is like Scarborough. And I'm thinking to myself, well, no, in terms of players wanting to come there and play in the culture and everything. And I'm thinking like, no, Scarborough is like Winnipeg. Then that seems to be the difference. Like being here, again, this is your first time and my first time here. I mean, again, if anybody's watching these games on TV, it's so much different. You can watch the product. You can watch Teddy drop 54. But like being here for that, I imagine was probably nuts. And that's the one thing that DJ and Xavier kind of said that stuck with me, or the one thing that they mentioned was the culture, right? Like the guys that want to be here, guys want to play here. And in the East, I mean, we never heard of that in Brampton until this year. And that's where I kind of want to transition into tipping our cap to Alex Serta, who I think did such a good job.
Yes, yeah.
The new management, Al Whitley, Serta boys. But this was never a thing. And I think a lot of people would also tell you that this team didn't think they were going to be in this position, as much as everybody on the team will say, well, we know we're a championship team, this and that. But like, I think there were a lot of people that second half of the season that thought we're dragging to the end here and we barely have our legs underneath us. But to be in the final in front of, again, 12,000, a record crowd, against a team that's crazy good, I think they're really just satisfied with that as much as they want to win. Again, I think it's another hat tip moment to those guys. Like 2 first-year head coaches in the finals too. I think that's crazy. Alex Serta, first head coaching job of his career too. Like it's just one of those things where
2 rookie head coaches.
Yeah, like that's it.
Well,
again,
Mike's not technically a rookie, but as a pro.
But like back to the point of just like it's everything you could ask for. There were so many storylines in this, and none of them, for once, were negative. It was like there wasn't something where somebody was like, I don't know. It just was nice. Like again, there is a loser and a winner. But at the end of the day, for Canadian hoops, there's no loser in this situation.
I mean, to Taylor's point, he talked about the adversity that this Winnipeg team had to go through to get to this point and losing 3 players. It's crazy. And I keep making this joke like 10 years from now, there's going to be a 30 for 30 about this season. And it's just going to be absolute bonkers. like just all the little storylines that led us to this point and ended on this crescendo despite, all the negativity and everything that we saw. That didn't make us that optimistic about the future of this league. So I'm really, really happy for Canadian basketball fans, the city of Winnipeg, for it to end the way that it did. Because for someone that didn't cover Winnipeg all year, I couldn't be more happier or thrilled for another fan base for sure.
Well, let's go some final. I'm getting hungry and I'm sweating.
You know how
this
you're
fat
joking,
boy.
like you wanted a later game. If this was midnight right now, I'd be curled up in a corner. So I'm glad this game started at 3:30.
Dio, let's go in order here. Let's get your final thoughts here.
Yeah.
And let's just a reminder, this isn't our final show. We've got one tomorrow,
Yes.
10:30 Central Time, 11:30 Eastern, from the Mondays Cafe, our great sponsors. And quick shout out to Holt Dental, Zweeke, Mondays Cafe, and Finn McCool's on Grant Park. In the Grand Park Mall parking lot. Appreciate all the support here to make this all happen this week. So let's
yeah, I mean, I already said my nice things about Winnipeg. Just for Brampton, for me, like, thank you to Coach Serta. Thank you to Jermaine and John Ross and Al Whitley. Man, you really rejuvenated the city of Brampton, and you've got a lot to be proud for. And I know those guys are hungry and they won't get complacent. And I'm excited to see what they do next year, whether it's in Brampton or not. Well, it's another question. But that's an off-season conversation. But hell of a fight, sub 500 team came in here, and these guys really bought into each other despite not being together all season for me. So that's my Brampton perspective, because I've already shared my Winnipeg ones. Matt?
Yeah, I would echo the same thing. Thanks to Brampton for, again, another fun season. New leadership. Finally, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of those guys called this season their expansion season. The management, in the sense that, like, this is where we're going to try things, test things, and get our feet in the water and try to kind of feel a temperature of what the situation is. So, yeah, I mean, like, we've had an excellent time there the past 4 seasons, and I think we're looking forward to having another good season next year. And then Winnipeg, like we said, too, this is, like I said to you, Joey, you undersold this, and you certainly didn't spend any other time in your life not selling us on this. So, but point being, like, it's just unbelievable. And like I said, if you watch this at home and you watch on YouTube or CBC or whatever it's on, or some pirated stream on, don't do that. Just watch on YouTube. There's literally no reason to stream anything. Pirated stream. Anyway,
like,
just ignore the last
props
20
to you
seconds.
if you did pirate it.
if you did,
That would take more effort than actually just going on YouTube or CBC
Free.
Jam
It's
or
already
whatever.
free.
If you are somehow looking for something to do, come to Winnipeg, come to the Canada Life Center, enjoy this, because this is second to none. Like, this is the Mecca. I think Stack Ty, you said this is like what we call this the Mecca, right? Like, this is like certainly the Mecca of Canadian hoops. And I don't think there's anywhere else in the country that you could do this at this point in time and have this many people set these records, see the talent you have on the floor, 4 20-plus point scorers in a finals, a game full of all-stars, past MVPs that have CVS receipts of awards like Xavier Moon, that never seem to want to give up on anything. And to watch this, I think, was awesome. And the hospitality side of it too, like the nicest city in the world, probably. So this was awesome. Thanks for.
You willing to cut a limit for the city?
Friendly man.
Well, I don't know.
I know you love cutting arms.
I just got a notification on here that they deposited cash. Tourism Winnipeg deposited cash on my account. So we're good. Anyway, thanks Winnipeg. Yeah, you guys, what's up? Thanks for the hospitality.
Final thought. I'm excited to see 5, 10, 15 years from now, how many Winnipeggers who go on to become fantastic basketball players, whether it's at the college level, pros, wherever, how many of them are going to say, hey, the moment that I knew I wanted to dedicate really my life to basketball is when I was at that CEBL final in 2026. And I saw Simon Hildebrand, a fellow Winnipegger, hit the game-winning shot. So it's going to be cool to see how this moment's probably going to inspire a lot of people.
Really
around
well
here.
put. Really well put.
Hate to stop this emotional train
We're
here,
not done
but
yet.
we've
We're
got
not
one
done
more
yet.
very special interview.
We're not done yet.
David Asper, the owner of this Winnipeg Sea Bears team, who made it all happen in his. So David, let's start with the obvious here. 4 years into the team, this was a big year for you, and your team gets it done in maybe the most dramatic fashion from start to finish this season.
Why is Taylor Allen so serious?
What are you talking about?
Give him a little bit of that, and he'll loosen up.
I've been cracking jokes the whole hour.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Are we seeing the real you?
Of course.
This is an intervention, Taylor. Welcome.
What's this all
And
about?
it's got nothing to do with some of the glass.
Let me ask this question. Did you guys do predictions before the game?
Yeah,
I wasn't on. I had to work.
I
so-
predicted the Sea Bears win.
Oh, did you?
I took the Sea Bears.
Oh,
as well.
you're an optimist. All of a sudden, you're an optimist.
Okay, David,
were we-
let's be
Wait a
fair.
minute. Were
Let's
we going to be sub 500 in your world?
I
or
didn't
what?
say that. I didn't say that. I said 500. I
Huh?
said 500.
You said 500.
Yeah.
Okay, wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
I took you guys in this game on the
Did you?
pregame. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
had you guys in this game.
He's so
yeah.
disappointed. He was
I'm
loaded.
a realist. I'm a
He was
realist,
loaded.
David. I look at the all the cards in the deck before I pick my move. So
You know what? Here's the deal. Here's the thing about this league. We had a bad day in Brampton. And lots of criticism about what happened there, about how the league dealt with it and all that stuff. And that was a bad day. And you can't judge a league or a person based on a bad day. And for our league, leaving aside who won or lost this game, this was a great day for the league. And I'm highly optimistic about the future of this league. I'm super excited. The level of basketball, the level of fandom, the level of intensity of play, the players who want to come and play here has, increased and increased and increased. And the rest of the world is watching this league now, whether it's the NBA or Europe or Asia. They're watching what's happening to these guys who play on a team in this league to see how they fit for their next job. And that's a good thing for our league. And I'm really ecstatic about today. I'm ecstatic that we won, but I'm ecstatic for our league and our partners. And I think today showed up well. And this was a good day for the league. And there's lots of days in the life of a league, of a human. And, way to go, Winnipeg, for that.
Yeah, and this was, as we mentioned, right? It was a particularly tough year for the league, and to bounce back the way we did and have the game that we had. I mean, 12,500 people. I think as we said, certainly there'll be things that'll be talked about in the off season, but I think this is what it was about. I think everything was put to the side here today, and we saw a great basketball game, and we saw a local kid living out a dream that he couldn't have dreamed. When he was growing up playing basketball, hitting that winning shot. And I think that is the key to this league, David. I think that's the part about having the Canadians in this league is we just saw what the development can be like in this country when you see a player like Simon Hildebrand have one of the best games we've seen in professional basketball here in Canada. And if it weren't for him, this could have been a totally different outcome. But I think, we saw a full display today of what this league can be with the players it brings in from overseas, or internationally, any imports, but also when we have the Canadians involved and what it can do to raise a kid. Because when Simon came in, he was a good player in year number one, but we just saw a guy that's going to go on a great professional run here as a player and has a long career ahead of him that I think if it weren't for this league, I don't know if he has the step ahead that he has right now.
Yeah, and Simon had the spotlight today, but remember Kyler Filowich had 10 minutes in Vancouver.
Yes, yeah,
okay, a guy off the bench, right? And And this is part of the development of the game where our guys, our Canadian players, start to learn and understand the roles, and be content with it, and grow into bigger roles. Simon had a role when he started that wasn't what he finished with. So that's an important part of the game. And the other thing I would say is that our coaches are all Canadians.
Yes. Mostly Manitobans.
Well, and the model that we've implemented is a model I looked at, and I've admired Niagara and the Vic Razzo structure for a long time. And, Kimball McKenzie succeeded Vic Razzo with the same kind of structure. Vancouver has the same kind of structure. Jordan Baker in Edmonton has the same kind of structure. Ottawa has the same kind of structure. So it's not just about players. It's about coaches. It's developing officials. And this league is playing a very important role in the entire basketball ecosystem all the way through. The players get the spotlight often, but it's much, much more than that. And that's why I'm so excited about it, because every time we do what we do, we get people more experienced, one step more experienced at a high level. And that's good for our sport.
Yeah.
I just have one question for you because I already asked you a bunch earlier. Did you have a pinch me type of moment tonight, whether it was after you guys won or as the game was leading up to it or anything? Like, was there a certain moment tonight where it was kind of like a pinch me type of moment?
I've thought about this. I'm going to give you a thoughtful answer. When I get to the pearly gates of heaven and I run into Jamie Burns, the owner of Edmonton Stingers, who we lost this year, and I run into Chad Postumus, and I run into all the people who are in heaven, my parents, they ask, your time on Earth, did you matter? Did you do something that, more than take up space? And as we got into target score time, and as we had a good lead, and we were sort of in command of the game at that point, I sat back and I looked at the joy on people's faces, the fans, our staff, our players, as you build to that moment of winning. And it's not a pinch me moment, I would say, but it's a moment where you say, okay, I see the joy on all these people's faces, and I see the people experiencing this moment, just the way I've done with the football club, in the past, but now it's this. And yeah, that's when I pinch myself and I say, okay, this is worth it. This is worth it. So yeah, I had that moment, but it's not sort of pinching myself. It's reminding myself, look at what's going on around. And that is a joyous thing.
Very well said.
When you look at, because you brought Chad Posthumous up, there was one thing I will never forget about this game, and it didn't happen on the floor. I glanced up at the scoreboard, or at the Videotron, and there was a person that raised a Chad Posthumous signed jersey with tears in their eyes going into target score time. I'll admit, I had a little moment where I had to stop looking, and I did look up at the banner that hangs over us here in the South Pole every game. I think it's fair to say that the culture of this team that you talked about and everything that's so important, those values, was a lot of that foundation was Chad Posthumous. What goes through your head when you think about what he's helped here and what you've built to since he's left us?
Of course, there's an emotional thing about Chad. Mm-hmm. And what Simon did tonight is what Chad did in our first game. Yeah. And Simon and I talked about this before the game. But Chad is symbolic of the other local guys all across the league. Okay. In all the various cities. And Jordan Baker is a legend, as a player and as a coach in Edmonton, and everybody has their Chad.
Yeah.
And we lost our Chad, and that makes it a sad part of the story. But I celebrate the fact that we celebrate Chad, and other cities and other teams across the league celebrate their guys. And that's what this is really all about. And so, yes, we cherish and we own Chad. But I love the fact that every city's got their version of that, living or past. And that's fandom. That is real fandom. And it's just wonderful to see it growing across this CEBL, warts and all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a story to file. I'm still on the clock here, so I actually have to go, unfortunately. But before I go...
Canada. Cheers, Canada.
But before I go, David, I just want to say one thing. As a reporter, I don't care who wins or loses. But as a Winnipegger, I just want to say thank you. Seriously, for this, like growing up in Winnipeg, this never even felt like it would even be possible in this city, right? And just like you, just looking around at all these people, all different walks of life, right, in this city, to all be here for basketball is so freaking cool. So win or lose, I just want to say thank you. This was
I'm very grateful. And you know what? Let me. I know you probably want to try to wrap this up, but let me just say, when we were in Brampton, there was a couple sitting courtside, and the woman was wearing I sat down beside her, and she was wearing the sparkliest gold shirt, and it had all these sparkly things on it. And I sat down beside her and had a conversation with her. And it turns out that her and her husband had randomly come to a game and fallen in love and become Brampton Honey Badger fans. And there she was, very, very visible at the game. And so, Taylor, to your point, the gratitude, the fandom, and the people who come, they spend their money, they cheer, they make noise, they make it disorienting for the opposing team. It's just so gratifying. It's so gratifying. And I'm glad that we've been able to do this for Winnipeg. I'm really glad.
And I think the league, this is kind of the standard, right? And I remember Mike Morreale when he came here, the first game, I remember he said immediately, this is our new ceiling. So, and props to the teams that have taken their chances. We've seen Calgary try the out-of-market games, the Saddledome games, and I think a lot of it has to do with what Winnipeg took the first big swing, right? And it's kind of opened up the eyes of opportunity to an extent.
And let's not forget, okay, there's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then everybody's chasing the trophy again.
Yeah, 100%. Target's on your back.
And now we got the target on our back, and now we got to deal with Vancouver and Edmonton and Saskatoon and Calgary and all the.
But that's 48 hours from now, David. Allow yourself to enjoy these next 4.
No, because I know that the Vancouver guys right now are scheming and trying
We just
to figure out,
talked Chris Wiggins off the ledge.
How do we take those guys?
Sorry, I just got to call for a sec.
go
I do got to finish
You
work.
got it, no
Otherwise,
problem.
I won't have a job tomorrow.
Don't worry.
So,
Don't worry.
But thanks,
All
guys.
right.
You guys keep having fun.
One of the things that we talked to you before the game about was the relationship kind of with your brother. Obviously, for those that don't know Leonard Asper, your brother is the owner in Brampton. He was in the house tonight in his classic yellow uni. And you jokingly said to us before the game when we asked you where he was sitting, you said, well, I don't really care. Politely, you said that. One of the things that we noticed, and again, it was amazing because we were sitting up there in the suite and Dee and I are watching over the court, and it's all blue or teal, right? Teal and white. And then you see yellow, and it's Leonard darting through, and he's going to find you, and he embraces, shares a hug with you. And obviously you joked with us before the game, but what is the relationship with your brother mean in terms of basketball and the basketball side of things? And how important is this for both of you to celebrate as locals of this great city?
I know everybody wants to, I know that's a story. I know that's a thing. But I'm going to tell you honestly that I've tried to manage this. It may sound cliche. And I said this, post game in the media. I don't like being an individual, and I do very much subordinate myself to the team. And I do what I can. I play my role. If I can help, I help. But I don't like being individualized. And so when we sort of elevated to the Bro Cup or the Asper Cup,
Asper Bowl,
or the Asper
brother,
Bowl or whatever else.
brother, hey.
I don't see it that way. I honestly don't see it that way. And so I compartmentalize, I love my brother. I compartmentalize it. We have our relationship, but I'm the Sea Bears. I'm not David Asper. I'm the Sea Bears. And, he can be whatever he wants to be, but that's not what I am.
The bear chair.
Yeah, well.
I like the Asper Bowl. Do you like the Asper Bowl?
No.
That's a good one.
No, I
No,
Wow.
I don't like that.
Well, let's leave you with some final thoughts here because you get to celebrate this, and as much as you're still looking ahead to next year, I mean, what you accomplish here, because you got to think. I had someone as I was walking over for the trophy presentation, someone said, it's nice to finally have a win in this building, right? How many heartbreaks has there been in this building, in this city years? Even the Bombers, they had their run, but there was a long time where
You finally got that taste out of your mouth.
From 2001.
Remember? You brought that up.
Well, that's a big secret. Do you want me to tell that secret?
Go for it.
So I was chair of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Bombers were bankrupt basically and almost going out of business. And we were able to, I got appointed chair of the board, and we implemented a new business plan. We changed management, we changed the team, and we had an amazing season and a run in 2001 where we were 14-4, and we went to the Grey Cup, and the Cinderella story was all written that we were going to win that Grey Cup. We were playing in the East at that time and playing against, I think it was a 7-11 Calgary Stampeders team. And we choked, and we lost that 2001 Grey Cup. And if Milt Stiegel ever watches this, I'll say this to you, Milt. Ever since then, I've had this little piece of barf in the back of my mouth, in the back of my throat, where I can just taste that barf from the 2001 Grey Cup. And I'm happy to tell you that is gone.
Washed it down.
No guarantees about tomorrow. After a couple of
Well, hey, to lend another thing, if you're a Target Score Day One person, you'll get this reference. But tonight you have full permission to go nuts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's coming.
Dave,
Hey,
yeah.
And let me say this, guys. We are very grateful that you pay attention and are interested in what we do. whether it's in Brampton or in Winnipeg or in Vancouver. Thank you very much on behalf of all of our teams. And, 27 is coming at us, and it's game on soon.
Well, be ready for the target score expansion, David. It's already in the works. So we're going to have one of these in every – you're not going to get away. Any city you go to now, you're going to have a guaranteed spot here.
Well, I'm going to wind up walking about 30,000 steps a day listening to Target Score podcast.
Well, we appreciate it, David. Obviously, we love this sport, and we're big basketball fans. And, as much as – we enjoy doing it. We have the platform to do it, right? And the platform is the league. And, we try to build a platform here to help other fans kind of connect, right? And I can tell you right now, the chat's going off, giving you congratulations and enjoying this
Tell me what the
conversation.
chat's saying. I know. I love listening because I listen
wanna
after
read
the
it?
fact. Well, I listen.
Pull it up
I
here for
listen
you.
after the fact while you're riffing live off the comments.
We've got
Is Wiggins finally
and
here? Okay.
Marsh, somebody is hating me or hating something, and whatever.
Yeah, no, we got.
Tell me who's got the most negative thing. Like,
Oh, there you go,
hates-
Wiggins.
Who hates us?
Asper with a nice vintage Bordeaux.
Yeah, there you go.
Cheers, David.
Cheers.
Cheers, David.
Cheers,
Cheers.
David. Wow, great
Cheers to
chat here.
Canada. Yeah.
When is the someone asking when is the championship? That's Cam, one of our day one guys. When is championship banner raising? We're gonna have a big ceremony.
When's the parade? Come on. We'll fly back for
I'll
that,
come
right?
back for the parade. You want me to
We're
drive
going
the bus?
streaking.
You want me to drive the bus? I'll drive the bus. Whatever you need out here.
You guys, when you're on the management side of this and you're facing what we're facing today, there's all kinds of things that you have to do that could anger the basketball gods that you have to prepare for. And so there's many questions that we left unanswered because dare we plan for anything, it comes back and bites you.
All right.
Can I say before we sign off too and say goodbye, I thanks for your hospitality as the outsiders. The moment we walked in this building, we were overwhelmed and like deer in the headlights looking at this whole thing, and you were one of the first people to welcome us and talk to us, and you were quite candid with us, which was really nice, right? Sometimes you got to break the ice and get comfortable with one another, but that wasn't the case with you, and you've recognized the work that we've done, and we appreciate it's people like you, the passion that you show that makes us want to go even harder. So we thank you for championing it, and again, we as visiting fans, we couldn't be happier for more happy than for an opposing team. So congratulations, well earned, and look forward to what you do in the future.
That's Brampton for thank God it wasn't Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver.
And Wiggins,
Do you have any final thoughts, David, before we let you go?
Just thanks again to you and to thanks everyone out there. We're going to turn out the lights on 26. We're going to get ready for 2027. It's going to be bigger and better. And just stay tuned.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again. Really appreciate you coming out here on no notice, getting a ribbon to Taylor, which I appreciate as well. And
Thanks,
I will say I was really close on my prediction. I remembered this year. We were one win shy of Joey Slattery's perfect call. But you know what? I guess it's fine. If I'm going to be one win away, I think this is a nice consolation. So there we go. But I appreciate you taking the time here, David.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right. I think that we already had our final words, so I'm just going to say this has been great. The 2026 champions are the Winnipeg Sea Bears, their first ever championship in their year number 4, and now they get to celebrate before they turn to 2027, the bigger and better things. Remember, we have a live show tomorrow at 10:30 at Monday's Cafe, one of our sponsors. Thanks to Hope Dental Game Mondays for making this all possible.
Wait, we're pulling a tooth live on that show.